All right, and we're good. I don't know how long that's gonna be recording, but
Okay,
hopefully it'll be for a while.
the whole time.
Yeah,
It'll record until you get home and realize you left it on, and you'll have like 3 hours of footage to edit.
you know. Hey, stick your head back though. Okay, is that how you gonna? Okay, make sure when you talk that your head's back like that far.
Like this, okay?
Yeah,
If I
cause
lean into the microphone,
yeah, then unless we move, but I don't want to move all that stuff, man.
I can move these magazines.
Yeah, if you move the magazines,
Yeah.
that'll help.
Is that good?
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
Let's make sure I press record. That's the other thing. All right.
That's like
I
the
never
dad
wrote down
that
what
misses the
we were
whole family vacation because he left the lens cap on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
It's part of the dad rite of passage.
Friggin' dads. Am I recording? Okay, I'm recording now. Check, check, check. All right. So, if I knew how to work this, I'd be able to. All right. So let's see. Let me hear you say something kind.
Something kind, be kind, rewind.
All right. Let me see. Lean back just a little bit, and then just say it again.
Be kind, rewind.
Okay. Yeah, you don't need to lean in.
Okay.
Or I don't know how it sounds to you. How does it sound to you?
It sounds a little bit farther away, but
It's coming in good here.
do you want? I'm not opposed to holding it, or with that. Oh, that's linked to that thing, huh?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's working. It might sound lower on that, but on here, like what I'm hearing, what's coming out of here, and
It sounds pretty good. Okay.
it sounds pretty good.
Right on, man.
All right, so I'm gonna clap to sync it all up. All right. So here we are, Scene Piece, episode 2, and I'm here with the owner of Champion Video out here in lovely Katy. Please introduce yourself, my man. Who are you?
Hey, what's up, dudes and lady dudes? This is Jason Champion. I'm the owner of Champion Video Rental here in Houston, Texas. And man, it's awesome having you out here today.
Yeah, so we came out here. It was a little bit of a drive, but I'm still getting to know the Houston area, so I thought it was cool to come this far. Or where are we? Like Oklahoma or something? Or way out here?
Yeah, it's Egypt, I think. Somewhere not on any kind of normal map.
But I think that's what makes it special, man, because you have this new layout. I'm loving the video store, all the posters. You're like really going in. How many years have you had this video store?
Oh man, so I've actually it's right at about 1.5 years right now. I've been collecting for quite a while, maybe 5, maybe 6 years, something like that. I kind of lost track of time, man. But yeah, this one opened up in February, and I had the other one for about another year and a couple months.
Okay, so it still feels fresh. Now, just for those who don't know, I wrote about Jason in the Houston Chronicle. Let me see. I found out about your store through Reddit, through the local Reddit community, man.
Right on.
And
Yeah.
I think they shared something. What was it? They shared a video. Was it Lunchmeat or somebody who wrote? Not a video. But
Josh
tell me
over
about
at
that.
Lunchmeat, man. Yeah, he's one of the pioneers of VHS collecting. Totally solid guy, man. He's really into the VHS culture, and he's responsible, I think, for VHS rising in popularity. He's just a great all-around guy, man. He's super friendly, super knowledgeable about everything VHS related.
And so, tell folks, man. I mean, people who haven't read any of this stuff, and I hope they do. You can check it out in the show notes, a lot of this stuff. But just give me the rundown, man. What was the birth of this this behemoth of a video collection that you have, and how many videos do you have? First of all.
Well, now it's up to about 6,000 tapes. Most of it VHS. There's some Betamax tapes in there. Got some laser discs and the old like CED video disc stuff like that. So main focus is VHS stuff. I just started collecting it, man, because I missed watching stuff on VHS. DVD and Blu-ray, have nothing against those. Netflix, they have some pretty great stuff sometimes too. The Redbox, but to me, going to the video store as a kid and being able to actually physically look through tangible movies, pick them up, read the back cover, see the crazy pictures and artwork on it, man, that was something I really missed. So kind of recapturing that is the main goal of it all.
And so describe for the folks who can't see it. The video will be up too on YouTube. But just describe like what is this layer, man? What does it look like?
Oh yeah, man, it's the VHS layer here, dude. We've got you walk in, you've got the horror movie arcade. The old video store I went to as a kid had a big couple arcades right in the front. Got the whole horror section. Next to that's the action section. You've got the sci-fi fantasy. There's the cartoons, comedy, Godzilla stuff, the weird, terrible section, and then you've got the new releases section, man. I'd say, would you say from floor to ceiling is posters and tapes pretty much, man? Do you see any original paint from the walls in here?
No, it's great. It is. It's wall to wall, man. And the new releases. Now they're not all that new, but I see a bunch of stuff I would totally watch.
Oh yeah, man. That's so pretty much with the big box tapes, man. I wanted them to kind of have their own section because with those were really eye catching when you went into the video store, you know, back as a kid and stuff, and just the artwork they put on there was ridiculously cool, and I wanted them to have their own little section. So I thought, well, let's put a new releases sign. That'd be a good way to kind of display them too.
Right. Now, horror is like your main focus, right?
Yeah, I love horror movies. Always been a big sci-fi fan, and lately I've really been hooked on pillaging all of the Goodwills and thrift stores trying to find like super weird, terrible tapes that were kind of like mistakes that should have never been put on video, but they exist for some reason. I love that stuff, man.
It's like it's cool that you got into it now because I think my introduction to video, like post, you know, being a young guy and renting videos from the video store, was when I came to Houston, and I lived in a place that had like a box full of videos and just like a bunch of VHS tapes. And I remember I went out and I bought a VHS player from like Target or something. I paid like $100, and like my wife was like, "Why are you so stupid? Like, why are you paying $100 for a damn VCR for what?"
Right.
And now they stopped making them.
Yeah, Funai was the last manufacturer, and they stopped making them not too long ago, man. I was really surprised they were still being manufactured. You remember those like DVD, VCR combos and things like that? Yes, Funai, a Japanese company, they were the last ones to make VHS, and that's gone away.
Wow, man, did that break your heart?
It was sad, man, but you know, I think that, you know how consumerism is, man. There's so many VCRs out there at thrift stores and Goodwills. I mean, there were like tens of millions of those things sold. And so it's sad. It's kind of like an end of an era thing, but I think that with doing this kind of thing and other VHS collectors that I know, it's something that kind of lives on through doing that.
Now, Jason Champion, that's your real name?
Yeah, that's my real name. People think it's fake, like the witness protection program or something, man. But yeah, that's my real last name right there.
All right, so tell me, when did you first get into like collecting VHS, man? Like really seriously seeking it, going after it. Like, tell me a little bit about that. What was that like?
Well, I've always been someone that collected retro video games and toys. Like that's always been something I've enjoyed, man. Even since like late junior high, early high school kind of thing, and looking for stuff from the 70s or weird stuff from the 80s, and it just kind of manifested from there. I think when I started doing it really seriously is when I just was looking at a thrift store, man, and found a bunch of really bizarre movies, like weird horror movie tapes that I hadn't seen before, and everything about it just pulled me in. The artwork on it, the descriptions were absolutely bonkers. There was like people that are pretty famous now that were in these movies and kind of got their start in them, you know. But it was really, really cool, man, just looking at all those tapes, and then I started looking up pictures of old video stores, and then remembering the video store Aardvark Video that I went to as a kid, and I think it all kind of culminated into one thing.
Wait, what was it called?
Aardvark Video. It was in Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
Was that like a national chain?
There were a couple in different parts of Oklahoma. Like I've talked to some people through Instagram that remember the Aardvark Video logo and things like that too. And I found a trucker hat that was like an employee hat of one of the Aardvark Video guys, and so it's proof that it existed. People believe me now.
Have you ever worked in a video store?
I have not, but I know that you did. Didn't you work in one, like a mom and pop back in the day?
I did, you know, and I felt like so proud when I was working on that story, and I would like talk to people who were studying it, like they were like stoked that I used to work at a video store.
Oh, I think it's awesome, man, yeah.
But yeah, I worked at, gosh, what was the first place? I worked at a Blockbuster Video, like outside of Waltham, Massachusetts, which is
cool.
like, I don't know, 20 minutes outside of Boston.
Did they make you watch the Blockbuster employee training video that's pretty notorious?
You know, I didn't have to do that,
Okay, you lucked out.
but I did get the like get a chick's number, and I did like
Oh yeah.
get lucky off of that job.
But hey man,
Remember that?
Blockbuster free rentals, that's a
I
perk
remember
right
that.
there.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on your
Yeah,
your
no, man,
victory,
I
sir.
just remembered that. Thank you. I got paid on Blockbusters.
You did.
And the other spot I worked at was I want to say it was a Hollywood Video. Or
Okay.
it might have been some kind of like knockoff of Hollywood Video, but it was like
Right.
a Hollywood Video place.
Cool, man. And these are all in Houston, right?
These are all in Waltham. These are
Really?
Massachusetts. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool. That's super
Yeah.
cool. Wouldn't you love to just do like a tour of the United States and go to all these old, like, 'cause there's still a couple video stores open, and just go hit up like a giant road trip, hit up every single one of those old video stores and check them out.
I would love to. I would love to like discover like some gem that's like not on Google Maps
Yeah.
or something.
Oh, that'd
It's
be
out,
great.
like, out around here somewhere.
Yeah, it's always cool looking through the old. There's I think one called UFO video that one of my buddies took a picture of, and
Yeah.
just the personality they put behind the store signs was crazy. Even like that Aardvark video one, it's a guy just kind of kicking back with, watching some tapes on a couch, and has got an Aardvark face on it.
So what got you in the videos, man? Like as far as like now, man, like really, because it's not like cheap. Although I think you've told me that you don't pay more than like $3 for a video, but I know there have to be some that you paid more for.
There's so with that, man, that's my goal. If I go out to a thrift store, man, I mean, you're paying like $1 or less for tapes. A lot of those like church thrift stores and stuff, they'll have like 10 for $1 because they literally have the Great Wall of China of tapes, across the wall, and they just can't get rid of them until somebody like me or my friends come in there and want to get them. But it was more of a nostalgia thing, man, honestly, and actually opening a video store was a joke when my friends would come over, like, oh man, you could open a video store, you have so many tapes. And so I was like, you know what, that would be a really cool way to display the collection, like set it up like an old video store, and then when I do something, man, I always go all out or over the top with it. So I was like, let's make this interactive, have people, they'll have memberships and an application, and keep everything inventoried, and open it up to the public, and I did, and I didn't think anyone would care, and they did, which was really cool, man. I've met a lot of really good friends doing this. To me, that's the fun, is the friends that I've made along the way doing this. I know it sounds kind of sappy, but it's 100% true, man.
Dude, don't worry about Sappy. You collect VHS tapes.
Right,
Good.
yeah.
But no, man, you're doing this, and there are other people who've set up like video stores in their house or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I'm sure they don't number in like the thousands. It's probably like a couple hundred people still do this kind of stuff.
I think so, man. And anybody I've had several people actually approach me saying that they saw what I was doing and wanted to do it, and man, I'm all about that. I'm like, please do it. We need. I mean, there's so many different cities, and even if somebody here in Houston did it, man, I would be all about that. I would come out and check out their shop, help them get it set up. I just think it's great that VHS is making kind of a revival of sorts. It was such a thing people would look at, and I think some people still do, be like, oh, that's all trash, cannon fodder. But seeing people save it and archive it and keep it alive is very important to me, and I think it's cool to see other people doing that.
Yeah, I guess one of the things that really got me interested in this was that I started noticing how much like academia and stuff was paying attention to the archiving of VHS and
Absolutely.
and all that kind of stuff. And what is the Yale Archive?
Yale got a big grant to preserve video, and someone donated a very sizable, really good collection to him, man. I remember you put that in the article, I think, too, right? You touched on that. You talked to
There was a guy.
curator.
Yeah, but that guy also had a connection to here, and I think he got his videos from Audio Video Plus. Well, we didn't talk about Audio Video Plus. I feel like we got to talk about that.
Man.
I'm not like the expert on that. I know you know the expert on that, but
I do.
talk a little about Audio Video Plus, which is probably like the last great Houston, trove of VHS and.
It really was, man. Yeah, Audio Video Plus had, I think, 2 locations here in Houston, and it was just the be all to end all of video stores in Houston, man. Benny Junko over at Video Sanctum, he's a good friend, great guy.
And Video Sanctum is a website, right?
So he's got a website. He does sell some tapes. His main focus from what I've gathered in talking to him is that he really wants to preserve the VHS cultural aspect specifically in Houston. And I think he's really done a great job of that, man. I'm glad that somebody's doing that. I don't think I have the organizational skills to pull something like that off, but he definitely does. And I really have a lot of respect for what he's doing with that. I've got some pretty cool pieces in here, like that JVC promotional light from him, man. And
oh yeah, that's huge.
it's one of my favorite things. A couple of the Ernest, you see Ernest's head kind of peeking out, creeping you out by the comedy section.
You've been having a lot of fun with that one
Yeah,
on
man.
Instagram.
Yeah, oh, definitely. That's a good prop, you know.
Can I grab it off of that?
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Ernest P. Worrell, Rip Jim Varney.
That's right. Yeah, there he is, right there in the flesh, or in the cardboard flesh.
I was happy to see they had a bunch of those movies on to stream. I think I was trying to watch like Ernest Scared Stupid or something.
Yeah, Scared Stupid, goes to camp, goes to prison.
Yeah.
In the Ernest in the Army, I think. I mean, they really got very specific with some of the titles, but he was cool, man. I still call people booger lips every now and then, like he did.
So yeah, I'll be honest, man. I couldn't totally commit to the tape head lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I did kind of go out and buy maybe like 60 or something tapes, but I threw them in a box in like the trunk of my car, and like maybe you can look at it and see if there's something you like. But I'm really like about to hit up the Goodwill.
Oh yeah.
And dump them.
Oh
sometime.
man, no, don't take them there. Take them to Champion Video. I'll get you some store credit, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll get you some, some free rentals or something, dude. But yeah, I mean I'll always. I mean, who's gonna say no to digging through a box of tapes? Yeah, I love that's part of the fun too, man. Is digging through, and you'll go through 1,000 crappy movies and just find that one little nugget of VHS gold on the shelf.
Yeah. Well, I do have a copy of Delta Force, but you probably have like 10 copies of those.
I do, but you can't go wrong with things exploding constantly every 10 seconds. I think that the movie clocks at like 5,000 explosions per square second in the movie.
Bro, they had me on Lee Marvin and Chuck Norris.
Oh yeah,
I was good.
Sold. Yeah.
The Beard King.
That's right. Is that what influenced the beard? Is the
Not really, but I've been looking at old Chuck Norris videos and stuff like that, and I was like, man, he was rocking a beard before, it was really that cool for like leading guys to rock a beard.
Oh, that's right, man. You can't go wrong with Chuck Norris, though, dude. I'm trying to remember the ninja movie that he was in, where he's, it's like I should totally. This
Was
is
it Beardless?
No, it's the one where he's like he whispers the Octagon. Thank you. He whispers the entire time, and it's kind of creepy. It's like having a creepy uncle like narrate the movie to you when he's half drunk or something.
It's like his third eyes talking to him.
Yeah, it's very very uncomfortable, but it's a new side of Chuck Norris that you don't always see. Usually there's very little dialogue, and he's just kicking people's faces in and kicking them in the nether regions. But yeah, to have him narrate pretty much the entire story in a whispery Chuck Norris voice is a unique experience.
I gotta check that one out again, man. I haven't seen those movies in years.
Yeah, it's a cool one, man.
Oh, but what I was trying to say, man, is like the whole like tape head culture.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to get into it, and I just realized kind of like where the line is for me. And it's like, I love old movies. I love like cheesy '80s flicks, but it's less for me personally. It's less about like, the collector aspect. Like, it's another level. Like when you collect comic books, or you collect baseball cards. You're trying to find those holy grails. You're trying to like complete a set of something. Like for me, like if I can find it on YouTube and it's not like super scratchy and I can watch it, like I'm super happy watching like a 1980s movie on YouTube. But tell me why like that doesn't satisfy you, to like your favorite movie to watch it on YouTube. Why that doesn't cut it and you have to have it on VHS.
Okay, hey man, that's actually a really good question. So, first of all, I respect your level of movie fan because you just want to see the movie. You know what I mean? Like you want to see it. You don't care what format it's in. You just want to view it and like absorb that content into your eyeballs. For me, I'm a lot like that too, man. I mean, there's some tapes that are out there. Like you have to have a lot of disposable income to go and to buy them. eBay prices, whatever. But I really enjoy the aspect of going with my friends to thrift stores. I kind of feel like we're being like archaeologists of video. We're digging through mounds and mounds of just absolute garbage tapes. A lot of the same tapes, but it's totally worth it, man. We'll go hit up, like when we go, it's 4 or 5, 6 Goodwills, thrift stores in a day. We've done more, that kind of thing too. But so I guess to really answer your question, man, I think that when you are a fan of something, collectors, how their brains work is they want something tangible. They want something to hold on. Like, hey, I own a piece of this. Like, say you're a Godzilla fan. I've yet to meet a Godzilla fan that doesn't at least have one little vinyl Godzilla toy or poster or something. Star Wars fans. It's the same exact thing, man. It's a bygone era. These VHS tapes were just tossed away. I mean, people are willing to just give them away a lot of the time because it holds no value to them. But as a collector, I think it really does. Just the artwork is a huge part of it, definitely. The idea of discovering new movies that you didn't know existed until you found them for a quarter just sitting there on a shelf, and just seeing. I like discovering actors being in movies that I had no idea that they were in at all. There's a lot of people that got their starts, doing like low budget flicks and low budget horror movies. So it's funny to see people that are now A-list actors being in really crappily done, like maybe $50 budget movies.
Right. Yeah, those are the gems. I always like those, and you're like, wow, they were so young, or
yeah,
they were so thick, or they didn't have a mustache.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to see Burt Reynolds without a mustache, though. I think that would haunt my dreams forever.
Dude, Tom Selleck without a mustache.
That's not even Tom Selleck. It's just like Tom Smiths and
Tom something or other.
Yeah.
Hey, so I was gonna ask you also. You're doing these swaps, man.
Yeah.
You're doing these swaps. You're bringing them back to Houston. Tell me about that, man, because you've been on a tear lately. You've been doing like screenings. Well, tell me about some of the stuff you do to kind of connect with the folks in the city, because you've been doing this stuff before, but you kind of took a little bit of a break, and now you've been like doing what, like something a month, man. I saw you did on Christmas time. You did like a viewing of, like, was it Silent Night, Deadly Night?
Yeah,
or something?
Silent Night, Deadly Night, exactly. Yeah, I just want to kind of spread the VHS love everywhere, man. A lot of collectors. We're all in our little collector dungeons, and wanted to kind of bring people out and maybe find some new collector friends or just people that had similar interests. So there's a thing called VHS Slaughterfest that I do at Misfit Toys in the Heights. They've got a real cool spot, man. It's got a real like grindhouse feel to it when you go in there. We've played tons and tons of movies there, man. I want to say like maybe we're up to 20 screenings so far with something somewhere in that range. And then recently, we had the very first Houston VHS swap meet. That was also at Misfit Toys. We kind of just had everybody bring tables, bring tapes, and the idea behind that was just to kind of a community building thing. That's something I'm really big on with anything I do, is try to bring people with similar interests together and hang out. If you ask a lot of VHS collectors, they usually don't know someone that collects VHS, or they don't know very many people that do. And so through doing these screenings and talking with people on social media, just started finding out, hey, there's a lot of people in Houston that really do care about the VHS format and that care about these old movies. So that was the whole idea, bring them together. We just did it on a whim, see what happens, and had a huge turnout, which I'm very thankful for. And then we've got another one coming up that's going to be at Insomnia Gallery. We actually got double the vendors from the first one, so we've got 20 tables. We've got some artists mixed in there, man. Just all kinds of formats, but focusing mostly on kind of celebrating VHS with everybody.
And are you guys like the only guys doing this out here? Because I haven't seen many other people get into this.
I don't know that there's been any other VHS swaps. I know my buddy David was at Walters. They actually did like a VHS swap in conjunction with a VHS screening over there, and Walters was, man, that was you want to talk about staples of Houston. That was just such a cool place, and they're actually shutting down, or have shut down too.
Walters is shutting down, but we have to say why though, man. Wasn't it related to the little bit of racism they had going on there?
I honestly I don't know.
Did it have to do with the comments they made about a DJ, rap DJ? Anyway.
Dude, I really don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. I feel like I gotta look it up now and make sure that was right.
Oh,
anyway,
okay. Yeah.
I'll double fact check that, but I thought it was that they wanted to play rap there, and then somebody sent an email, and then they made the email public, and then it was like, oh, Walters is racist, bro. Anyway.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've honestly never heard anything like that about him, man.
God, I hope I'm right on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that shit up. Pretty sure I'm right on that.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, Walters. Walter. Not saying, not trying to throw any
Oh
racial
no,
shit
dude.
at you, bro.
Yeah, no, I understand, man.
Let's see. I just gotta make sure I'm right now, because I'm not trying to put any bad stuff out
Mm-hmm.
on Walter's demise. Okay, but the story of wherever the spot was, which I'm assuming was Walter's, was that it was a DJ who wanted to come and play, and somebody said something like, "Well, we don't want anybody playing hip hop music because all they do is smoke weed and something crazy."
Oh,
Oh man, what was the name of that? Let's see, rap music. Sorry, man. I got to get to the bottom of this.
no, you're good, dude. You're good. Google away.
Plus my mic is a little sketch.
Oh, okay.
So I was wrong.
Uh-oh. Well, we can edit that out,
I'm
right?
gonna have to edit that
yeah,
out.
We'll edit
It was
that out.
Fitzgerald's. It wasn't Walters. And
Oh.
Fitzgerald's is probably still open. Sorry, I'm not from Houston. I get these places all mixed up.
No,
Walters,
no,
Fitzgerald's.
You're
all
fine.
that
Well,
shit's.
and I
it's
know a
insane.
lot of the dudes that are at Walters, man. That didn't seem like something they would represent.
Okay,
Yeah.
Fitzgerald's faces accusations of racism.
Oh, okay. I remember going to
That was a
shows
year
with
ago.
Fitz, man. That Fitz was really cool. It was an awesome place.
Well, what happened was somebody there didn't want a rap show to go down, and the email that they sent for the reason why they got spread out public, and so
Really? Oh,
people
wow.
were like, "Oh, you think all people who like rap just smoke weed and don't tip or something like that crazy?" Anyway,
It's 2018, man. There's no
next
need
time.
to be like that, right? That'll be on the next segment.
Anyway, sorry to Walters. Sorry for your demise. It was obviously a good place for the culture.
It was, man. They brought, seriously, dude. They brought some of the best bands. I mean, they really did a great job with the booking there. I saw bands there that I thought I would never see play live, man. So that I really missed that place already. It wasn't really that long ago at all.
Yeah.
But they've kind of, with Insomnia Gallery, the place that we're taking that, they're kind of, I don't want to say taking the place because that sounds like they're copycatting and not doing their same, their own thing, because they totally are. But they've kind of absorbed like the Deep End Records that was in there. That's
Okay.
that's a great little record spot too, and a lot of the art show events and they may be doing some music stuff too. But I think Insomnia's trying to kind of carrying the torch is a better way to put that. So.
Right. And you also do music, man. Tell me about your musical endeavors.
Yeah, man. So I've got a band called Robot Island that has my brother and a good friend of mine, Christian, that plays drums in it too. And my brother's recently moved up to Austin, so we haven't had a chance to really practice. It's one of those things that's kind of, fizzled away a little bit, dude. But we played. It's just punk rock songs about girls and Nintendo and movies and just anything nerdy that we like. We want to put it out there in music form. So again, it's the thing, just making sure people are entertained and having a good time.
Right. No, that's awesome, man. And,
Yeah.
are any of your songs influenced by your VHS collecting?
Oh
like,
man,
based on movies or something?
well, there's one, we haven't recorded it or anything yet, but I wanted to do something about the demise of the internet. So that song, the video killed the radio star.
Yeah, I was just listening to that recently. I was at the '80s party.
Okay, so take that, and I'm big on like cheesy dad jokes and puns, so I wanted to make it the internet killed the video store, and make a song about that. So that's in the works right now, but it's gonna have a lot of like VHS, movie references in it too.
All right, man. I look forward to jamming that.
Yeah, right on, man.
Well, what do you play? You're the singer, right? You're the lead singer?
I do. I sing and I play guitar. I play drums. I play bass. I love almost any form of music, man, and that's always been something I've done. I've played drums probably the longest, but I sing and play guitar. Yeah.
Do you have a drum kit here?
I don't. I actually gave it to my sister because she started an all librarian band,
Oh,
and
nice.
she's the drummer in it, and they're actually pretty awesome. So yeah, it was donated to a good cause. I had lack of space, obviously, and I knew that she would use it more than I would. We already had a drummer with a really nice drum set, so.
Right. Okay. That's the thing that I like about you, man. Is you people think like a guy who collects VHS and stuff like that might not be cool. Like you're like a cool punk rock dude. Actually, a lot of those guys you were hanging out with, a lot of them were pretty pretty cool dudes. It was the one dude like tattooed all over his face. Who's that guy?
Oh yeah, that's my buddy Sprinkles. He works at a candy store, and he's he's one that got.
And wait, that's the spot where in Austin.
That's in Austin, man. Yeah, he works.
What's it called?
Oh man, he's gonna kill me for forgetting the name, but it's Toy Joy in Austin.
Okay.
And they've got like a candy shop, I believe, that's attached to it, but I could totally be wrong on that. So Sprinkles, forgive me. But he's a great guy, dude. You want to talk about he's very selfless, always a good friend, always there. Man, I've met so many people like that, man, that I'm very thankful for. You know, just really good, solid friends. Where like the VHS stuff was a good introduction, but then I find that a lot of people that collect this stuff have similar brains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We tend to think the same way and have the same weird sense of humor, and totally great guy, man. So yeah, that's Sprinkles.
Sprinkles. Is he coming to the next one?
He is, dude. He
Wow.
crashed out over here last time. He brought his girlfriend. She was super cool too, and they stayed. They're gonna crash out here again.
Speaking of girls, we gotta talk about the girls. Okay.
Okay.
At this VHS swap, there were actually like a handful of women, and I totally would not think that like I don't know, maybe it's sexist of me. But maybe it's just like the whole narrative around like nerd culture. We never think like it appeals to girls. We never think about it. We never think it appeals to like people from different cultures and shit like that. But when you actually look at it, it does, right? It appeals to like a whole wide swath. You know, people.
Totally, man.
Different areas.
I remember you mentioned to me. You said that you expected it to be a total sausage fest, but it wasn't. But you're right, though. I mean, that's. I don't think that's assuming anything. I think that most, Comic Cons and stuff like that, I think it's a predominantly male thing, but there's totally, there's a lot of females too that are.
Yeah, the
totally
cosplay aspect definitely brings in.
Yeah, cosplay too. But I've met girls that know way more about VHS tapes or movies or comic books than I ever will. So I think it's always, as in everything, man, it's up to the individual, but I can see where you'd be surprised that it wasn't a complete sausage fest thing, with the tape swap.
Do you know Becky with the VHS?
Becky, I don't.
Oh, this is the Instagram accounts of all like the girls with the VHS collector.
Yeah.
Women.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of those out there. Yeah.
There's a ton of them.
You were pleasantly surprised, I think, right, when you were.
I was like, well, this is cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, okay, they're like posing with like VHS tapes in between their legs. It's it's one way of taking a selfie.
Right.
But I think I was just more impressed with this one guy who like just collect the smut VHS guy. With like, do you know which guy I'm talking about?
No, man. Was he there at the
No,
swap?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I switched to social media already.
Oh, okay.
Just like the whole like VHS collecting, how social media plays like such a big part in this, and probably played a big part in reviving, the collector culture or making it as big as it is now as far as VHS. Because the movie was it Be Kind Rewind was the name of the movie.
There was Dan Keenum and some of the guys they made Adjust Your Tracking.
Adjust Your Tracking. Okay. I'm thinking of the Most Def movie then.
Horror Boobs. He's an awesome dude. I wanted to give a giant thumbs up to Horror Boobs. Totally cool guy.
That's a website or.
Yeah, well, he's a collector at heart. He's got a website with some really cool VHS swag. I ran into him at the Texas Frightmare Festival, which is like a huge horror convention. Yeah, it's coming up again, and
super coming up, and I kind of want to go. I'm sure you already got your tickets.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's got some of the guys and one guy and a girl from Troll 2.
Is it alright to lean on your glass?
Yeah,
like this?
dude. Yeah, you're fine.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have workers' comp if you get,
Okay. Yeah, I might lose an arm.
Yeah, if you do, it'll be for a good cause, though, right?
Sorry, family.
Yeah, Texas Frightmare is coming up very, very soon. I'm actually riding up there with, speaking of Instagram folks, with my buddy VHS Bloodbath. So Mike is another guy that I met through doing the screenings there at Misfit, and we became Insta friends. He's honestly one of the coolest dudes in the collecting game that I know.
Did you just say Insta friends?
Yeah,
or
we were Insta friends on Instagram. Yeah,
ah,
that was my attempt at a pun again.
Okay, I didn't know. I was gonna call you out for that, but I like it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right on, dude. Yeah, he's Mike is totally cool, man, and he came up to one of the I forget what screen it was, but he brought me a couple like big box pornos because he knew I had the adult section here.
Oh, it's back there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Adults only. XXX.
It is. Well, you remember at the last one, it was just
Yeah,
a
the
black,
curtain.
Yeah, the curtain.
Which
and
is, I had worked in, oh man, I worked in 3 video stores, because now I'm thinking of the spot I worked in that had the curtain. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So that's legitimate then.
I'm just letting you guys know out there, anybody who like wants to interview me about working in a video store, hit me up. Anyway.
Dude, yeah, please let me know if that happens. That's one of the fascinating things is when you see interviews with people that ran video stores or worked in
Right.
video stores, man. I mean, that's as close as you can get to the whole time machine and bringing it all back.
I saw it die. But yeah.
Did you?
I worked in a video store where the co-owner was like, DVD isn't going to catch on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard him say that.
He doubted the
He doubted
power
DVDs,
of the DVD.
man. And then, like, 5 years later, the store was, like, all porn. And,
Really?
Like, one
Really?
little shelf of, like, regular movies.
That sounds right. And you know, I've found a lot of good tapes at porno stores because they keep all these, like, VHS tapes, and they'll usually take the tape out and put styrofoam and shrink wrap them. So as people are walking by the store, it looks like a legit storefront selling tapes. But when you get inside is when the real nasty stuff is in the back. You know, like they've got
Right.
the all pornos and everything there. So it's kind of it's a front. It's almost like money laundering, but you know, with old VHS and not money.
VHS long. You know, and to go back to this, I think we segued. We were talking about something else. But to go back to this, I remember my first experience renting videos was in a supermarket. It was in ShopRite in Woodbridge.
Right.
And it was a video like kiosk set up in like a corner, and they would rent videos, man. And I got to see like all the Disney movies. Anyway.
Yeah, so you know, Randall's used to have those, like a lot. I'll find tapes that have the stickers on them, and for some reason Randall's, of course Blockbuster, they wanted you to know that tape came from there. Like they would write their name in Sharpie on it, and then take, you know, 5 or 6 different wraparounds of packaging tape, and like if you wanted to get that stuff off, it wouldn't happen. It's probably melted into the tape by now, but they really were big on letting you know this definitely came from Randall's.
Because they wanted to be able to take you to court or have the cops come to your house.
That's
and
right,
bring
man.
that shit back.
Yeah, get the SWAT team busting in for having something about Mary for too many days.
Yeah, $100 tapes, man.
That's right.
Damn, what were we talking about?
So you're talking about video stores, then we were talking about the video swap, and then the girls.
The swap. Oh,
Yeah.
tell me about the girls. You met somebody, right? Who came to your shop?
Yeah. So I've had some. I mean, there's dudes, there's chicks. You know, everybody. Man, they come by. Families that come by and rent. Up to about 150 members now, and so.
Whoa, you got 150 people that have come to.
Yeah, no
that are on your list.
No balloons or confetti dropped out of the ceiling. It was just I kind of was counting them and was like, oh my god, I've hit 150. Like it.
See, I didn't know this, man. I thought it just had like, you know, random people like me just dropping in, but
yeah, it caught on. Once you did that article in the paper, it started to really catch on, man. I had just random people come out of the woodworks and rent stuff, and I only had one bad experience with someone coming by. I mean, I'm inviting them into my home, you know.
yeah.
So I kind of pre-screen them, talk to them a little bit on Facebook, and make sure they're legitimate. But
You did that to me too. You kind of were like talking to me on the
Right.
Facebook Messenger, like suss me out.
Yeah, exactly. Just make sure, you know, you're not a creeper coming in. You know, I mean, the jury's still out on that. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean,
No,
you have a lot more faith in mankind than I do, because I definitely would not be letting mofos up in my house
Right, dude.
for anything, even if they did seem straight.
Right, yeah. It's, you know, and one day, man, I mean, the goal eventually is to open an actual brick and mortar, you know, bring the video rental stuff back. With all of these events, I think it's kind of planting seeds to where, you know, just seeing here locally how many collectors there are, people that just miss going to video stores and picking out movies with their friends on the Friday night thing. So that's the dream, though. That's the end goal, man, is to actually open up a physical brick and mortar. You can walk in off the street. You don't have to make an appointment. Just walk in, rent tapes.
Hey, don't skip my question, man.
Yeah.
So you met a lady, right? She's coming in here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a really cool. I won't embarrass her or anything like that, but she's a really cool girl that came in here, man. We talked about a lot of awesome movies. Had the same like goofball sense of humor, and definitely excited, man. I mean, if anything, I got to make a friend with her, you know. So that was pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked about that. We're gonna go see a movie pretty soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, so just let everybody know that, man. don't be judging the VHS collectors. They have game too.
Well,
So
I don't know about game, but I mean, yeah, I mean, a girl's going to a movie with me and not throwing up, so I'd say that's considered game.
no, you're
right?
good, man.
Is that, okay, cool.
You're good. You're a famous guy in my book. So dude, so tell me, like, you grabbed like what, half a dozen tapes there, a dozen tapes, like.
Yeah.
Talk to us, man. What are some of the gems of your collection? What are like some of the things out of this? I think I asked you already how many tapes you have in here. It's got to be what, 5,000?
Yeah, it's right around 6,000 tapes now.
6,000. All right.
I should probably do some kind of mathematical equation to see how much weight can be held since I'm on the second floor.
Yeah. How many would fit inside of you know? How many would fit inside of a building?
Right.
A 2-story building or
A
something.
2-story
like
building. Yeah. You know, everybody loves those math facts. You know, like Connecticut fits into Texas 72,000 times or something. But yeah, there's about 6,000 tapes in here, man. You know what's cool to me is when people come in here, they're not like looking for the rare tapes. Like, oh, you've got Video Violence 1 and 2, big box format, or you've got, you know, Terror on Tape.
Hold on. You got to go back, man.
Oh,
Video. You got to talk about Video Violence.
Oh, Video
I've never
Violence.
seen it. I just know it because I'm from New Jersey and that was made in New Jersey. So I always like to hear people talk about Video Violence.
that was made in your hometown? So it was.
It wasn't in my hometown, but it was made in my home state.
Your home state. That's right. So, it's the genre. It's known as SOV, or shot on video, and it's essentially when those like home use camcorders came out. Anybody with an imagination and like knowing that kind of how to market movies could have their movie on a shelf next to like $1 million blockbuster titles, and it was really that was a really cool part of, like, you see these pioneers at home making these movies, and then you've got them next to a Steven Spielberg movie on the shelf, and it's just, that would never happen now. No one would ever take a chance on something like that. But these video stores could not get enough of, they wanted filler, they wanted shovel any kind of tape that you can get in here with, like, that looks decent and marketable and rentable to people. We want that. And Video Violence was filmed inside of an actual video store. It's super bonkers. It has ridiculous, just kind of over the top gore. The cheese factor is very high. Like all the things that I really look for a lot. But yeah, man, have you had a chance to check that out yet? Did you get a chance to watch it?
I haven't, because it seems like one of those things you got to look at on VHS.
You have to, man. I want you to promise me that the first time you watch it, it'll be on VHS. I'll let you rent it and bring it home, dude, if you want. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
All right.
Yeah, and I've got the sequel when you're done. But the first one.
They made a sequel.
Yeah, Video Violence.
The same
1 and
way,
2.
the same kind of cheesy way. Or?
Yeah, same way, man.
Oh,
it was
cool.
the same guys, same concept. There's, I don't want to spoil it for you, but I think you'll really like it. And
Video Violence.
Video Violence. But there's some. So you wanted to ask about these tapes,
dude?
right?
So
These
show me the
here.
tapes, man. So I asked Jason. I said, Jason, man, pick up a stack of tapes, however many you want, and like tell us, like, what are some of the jams?
Okay.
What are some of your greatest hits here?
These are, so some of them are rare tapes. I kind of picked them for their own reasons. So I'll go through them real quick. With going to thrift stores and stuff, man, it is admittedly getting harder to find stuff. A lot of the video stores have been pillaged, but that's not to say there's not stuff like that out there.
Not pillaged because this whole culture is catching on. You got guys like me telling the whole world about it, or locally here, and I see other people writing articles about it too. But
yeah,
so more competition.
It's gaining popularity. And I know some people, they don't like that. I mean, it's kind of like with any kind of collectible stuff, like, oh, don't give up the spots, or, oh, there's more people, so there's more competition. They're completely justified in thinking whatever they want to think with it. Me, I just love seeing it grow and becoming a big thing. It's really, to me, reminiscent of how records became popular. Obviously there's better quality, like FLAC audiophiles, things like that. And some people, there is a pretty valid argument that it being an analog on record has a better sound, and I do agree with that. But with VHS, you cannot possibly argue that this is the best format, technically speaking. Like superior, like technology-wise, this is not the best that's out there. You've got the tracking, but it's the things like the tape skipping, or them kind of fuzzing out between parts that people had rented it before, and kind of rewinding and going back. It degrades the magnetism in the tape, or the tape quality itself. So you know there's going to be some boobs or a giant monster popping up when it starts fuzzing out. It's like a bookmark of how the kind of people that rented it, or the people that rented it, what they rewound and rewatched and probably laughed their asses off over and over. This is a good example of the Boneyard. It kind of ties in. Yeah, it has Phyllis Diller in it, and has
the comedian.
Yeah, she's
late comedian.
Absolutely kills it in this movie. She has a poodle she's carrying around, and then it mutates into this giant killer poodle. It's fascinating, man. I gotta maybe get you a picture of the cover, but this one
Can I just mention, it's got Norman Fell, who is Mr. Roper.
There you go.
Three's Company.
Nice one, man. This one is actually, it's a screening copy of the Boneyard. It has the order cutoff date of May 21st, 1991. So it was sent to a video store to kind of screen. They weren't allowed to rent them out. And It's a promotional trailer. And then it has the street date of June 12th, 1991. And to me, that just has so much history. It's a movie that I love. And it's got this crazy looking like murder poodle on the cover of it, which in the movie is actually really adorable, and it turns into this.
So is it a double joint, or is it that the other side is an advertisement?
It has memories of murder on the back. It says she couldn't remember, she can't forget. And it's a Prism release. Prism is one of my favorite companies, but they would release 2 different movies on one trailer to kind of play them back to back to get them to buy them. Sometimes the distributors would package in, if you buy 6 of these tapes, you'll get them at this price, and we'll give you a free this thing.
Right.
I've got a double promotional screener that has Dead Alive, which is one of my favorite movies, and also Extreme Justice, which is like not really a good movie. So you've got this amazing, Peter Jackson, who directed the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But was making like ultra trashy, ultra gory, really amazing movies.
Yeah. It was a calling card flick right there.
It really is. He did Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, which is if you gave the Muppets cocaine and machine guns, that's what happened, is they Meet the Feebles.
Meet the Feebles is great.
That's
Bad
a cool
Taste
one. This is actually the one that we're playing at the swap. After the swap meet, we're going to project this movie. It's Hard Ticket to Hawaii, and it's an Andy Sidaris film who is known for making absolute cheeseball 80s action movies. This has toxic nuclear snakes that pop out of toilets. There's
that's
blow up dolls.
Big fear of mine.
Yeah, I know, dude. You will not go number 2 without thinking about this movie after you see it ever again. But
yeah, that would mess me up.
It will. They shoot blow-up dolls with RPG rockets. There's a guy that gets shot in the heart and is like totally fine. It's bonkers. It's a perfect thing to watch with like a group of like-minded individuals, man. So
Hard Ticket to Hawaii. Mar.
Yeah, that one is so good, man. This one is actually pretty special to me. It's Warrior of the Lost World. And it's one of those like sci-fi post-apocalyptic movies. The guy rides a motorcycle around, and it has this like super annoying computer voice that just like says whatever is happening. So if he blows up a motorcycle, it'll be like bingo, bingo, over and over, but like a really annoying like little kid computer voice. This one actually, I took my son to Roswell, New Mexico, and we checked out all the International UFO Museum. They had one Salvation Army in the entire town, and I went and found this under a pile of like pregnancy and aerobic exercise tapes.
You're so lucky, man.
But if you saw that cover though, you would probably buy that.
Oh yeah, totally buy this.
Insta buy.
I totally buy this, especially if I saw the cover. Yeah, it's like punk rockers. Yeah, I'd be all over this, man.
Yeah, that one is.
It's got Donald Pleasance.
Yeah, that's a bonus, right?
And Fred the Hammer Williamson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You see Fred Williamson on anything? Obviously, you buy it, and then Donald Pleasance from the Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah.
No, Donald Pleasance from Halloween.
Halloween. What am I talking
Donald
about?
Sutherland.
Sutherland is what I was thinking. Yeah, dude. This one, and it's on the Thorn EMI label, which is a really cool label. Like a lot of people, when they buy these, they think it's a cut box. Right. But this is actually how they designed it. When you see a lot of the boxes that they would cut to save space on the video store shelves. These were actually packaged just like this, but it looks like someone cut away a slipcase.
What'd you call it? You said EMI?
Yeah, Thorn EMI.
Thorn EMI, okay.
Yeah, it was kind of like their own video label. They put out a wide variety of stuff, mostly like sci-fi, action, and horror movie stuff, though.
Yeah, there was a big sci-fi run in like the 80s. I guess everybody was trying to be Road Warrior. So I guess it was like
totally,
Road
man.
Warrior, The Terminator, and Knight Rider all together.
Yeah, yeah, and then a lot of crappiness too. But that's that. This is like charming crappiness though.
It's got Donald Pleasance, of course.
Yeah, but this one, dude, it's fantastic, man. That's another one you got to watch too. We'll let you check it out and rent it and bring it home. So another one of my kind of passions is super bad. Like I appreciate martial arts, like in all seriousness, but really bad ninja stuff is, man, that's my cup of tea right there, dude.
Yes.
Anything that Godfrey Ho did, Joseph Lai, if you see their name on it, it's probably ultra terrible. They filmed a lot of ninja footage and then spliced it and reused it in like several of their movies.
Oh no.
The voice dubbing is ridiculously bad, which is a bonus. And the ninjas actually have a headband on that says the word ninja on it, so you know it's legit if it actually. If it's that's like if you showed up and you had like a headband that said podcast on it.
Is it racist if I say I don't really dig ninja movies with white guys in them as the
No.
main character?
No, it's not. Well, if it's a Godfrey Ho movie or Joseph Lai, it probably has Richard Harrison in it, who was like the same character in every. You know how people say Keanu Reeves is like the same
Right.
character in every movie. He's the same guy in every single movie. He's got the great like dad porn stash thing going on.
Right.
He has a terrible ninja costume in most of them. It's like army camouflage, which is not ninja. You know, that's not ninja, man. But
it's crazy because it looks like Double Dragon or something.
It really does, man.
It's like the Double Dragon ninja version. But yeah, I'm sorry to any white guys who are ninjas out there. I apologize. I shouldn't be.
You'll never see them coming. They'll be sneaking around in the shadow. There's probably a couple in here now. We don't even know about it.
Yeah, I just set myself up for that.
Did you? That's all right, man. Well, yeah. So we've got that.
Keep going, man. Keep going.
Let's go to this. This
We've
is
got
kinda,
time.
We've got time. Okay, cool. This one. So my all-time favorite movie is Frankenhooker.
Can I just say you have the T-shirt on right now?
I do have the
think that's
T-shirt on,
Extremely
yeah.
charming.
Get a
I
picture
never
with that.
knew
Yeah.
I'd meet a guy with the Frankenhooker shirt.
Yeah, Frankenhooker.